Welcome to Secrets of the Stars, where we explore the ancient knowledge of astrology, decode your unique blueprint, and unveil how the wisdom of the sky contributes to your life. I'm your host, Abby Lutis, astrologer, mentor, and sky guide. It's time to embark on a cosmic adventure of self-discovery and understanding why you are the way you are. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to Secrets of the Stars. I am so excited to be back with you here today for another episode, and I just want to say thank you so much for your listenership. I love that you are tuning in and wanting to learn more and more about this incredible ancient tool that we know as astrology. So I really hope that you have been learning a lot and loving the podcast. If you've been loving the podcast, please leave me a 5-star review in the podcast app that you listen to. I would be so grateful. It really helps me to get the word out for the podcast and reach all those people that are curious to learn and understand and know more about astrology. So as you're receiving this episode, I will be well and truly settled back in to tour guiding life in Central Australia. I had decided to come back out here for several months and I just really love it out here. I have a bunch of trips that I am rostered on for, and right when you're receiving this, it's likely I'll be coming off my second trip in the Northern Territory and would have already done a trip over to Western Australia if you've been following along in other episodes. And I'll be heading out and again in another couple of days. And this tour is really incredible. I get to visit some of my favorite places on the trail. So I really am looking forward to this one. And I just want you to know that I am still open and available to do natal chart readings and forecast readings. So if you're curious to take a deep dive into your personal chart to further understand your uniqueness, your superpowers, and your brilliance, come and book a reading with me. I am doing those in the pockets of my time between the trips. So that is exciting. And if you're wanting to really step up and expand your understanding of astrology and really use it in a way where you can feel empowered, join with me for my astrology course, Starlit. It's a personal development course where you will learn how to use astrology to understand and thrive with the energies that you naturally embody. There are 9 modules in this self-paced course, and you can sign up right now and gain access. And when I run this course again in its next live round, you'll also get access to that. It is currently at a reduced rate, and when we run the live round, the price will be going up. So it's a bargain right now. There is so much jam-packed into this incredible course, and you can find all the details in my show notes. All right, so today we are going to be returning to my mini-series all about the signs. And today we're going to be exploring and taking a look at the sign of Cancer. All right, and this is we're about to enter Cancer season. And as this episode goes live, we probably already had a couple of planets shift into Cancer. Venus and Mercury shifted into Cancer on the 17th of June. So here we go. The season of Cancer season runs approximately from the 20th to the 22nd of June to the 22nd or the 23rd of July. This all depends on what time zone you are in and what year it is, because it has a slightly different cycle depending on the year, all right, and the time zone. Now, Cancer sign is a cardinal water sign. So the mode is cardinal and the element is water. I like to imagine this in nature. And if we think of cardinal water, we can describe it like a fertile rock pool, okay? It's the beginning of the ocean where life begins. It's the energy of nurturing, caring, and tending to. It's quite soft and gentle. And if you think of a rock pool, it's a very contained environment. It's where life starts for ocean creatures, right? And some creatures may not ever make it out of the rock pool, but it is that sheltered, protective, nurturing kind of energy. So I liken this Cancer sign to a beautiful, fertile rock pool. Now, the ruling planet of Cancer is the moon. The moon the moon only rules Cancer. If we're thinking of all the other planets, generally the planets rule a couple of signs, but the sun and the moon, they only rule one. So it's a little bit special in that way, you could say. Looking at Cancer's polarity, it is negative, or we could explain this as yin or feminine. So it's a softer, gentle energy. It's all about receiving and allowing, okay? This is what the polarity is. The symbol of Cancer is the crab. And if we think of the crab, we can gain a lot of understanding about the sign of Cancer because its symbology really applies. So Cancer, the crabs have this hard outer shell, all right? So it's on the outside looks quite tough, okay? But on the inside, the crab is soft and, we could say vulnerable, right? Crabs also have sharp pincers, okay? And they can nip out of defense at any time. And the other thing that's a little bit unique about crabs is that they like to move sideways. And, interestingly enough, a crab is, born in, I'd say, in a rock pool or in that sort of nurturing edge of the ocean kind of environment. But yeah, that sideways movement may apply to the symbology of Cancer, or definitely does apply to the symbology of Cancer. If we were looking at the stage of life in my life cycle, then this would apply by looking at a young child who is starting to grow up and starting to understand their emotions. So maybe between, the ages of 7, let's say 7 to 13, when they're just starting to learn about maintaining and controlling and regulating their emotions. It's the 4th sign of the zodiac. And if we were to think about the qualities of Cancer, we would know that it is cold and wet. Cancer's opposite sign is Capricorn. And the colors that we generally see with Cancer are white, silver, and blue. And these also are probably similar colors of the moon. Now, the season, it's a cardinal sign. And all cardinal signs represent beginnings of seasons, okay, in tropical astrology. And so actually Cancer is quite significant because it represents the solstice. In the southern hemisphere, it represents the winter solstice, and the season is early winter. And if we were looking more traditionally where astrology essentially originated from in the northern hemisphere, Cancer represents the summer solstice and early summer. So Cancer energy can also be thought of as the mother and this beautiful feminine energy that essentially birthed the world, okay? And it's very caring, it's very kind, and can act on instincts and intuition. Intuition is very strong, and most people with strong Cancer placements have a strong sense of intuition, and they also come along with that beautiful, nurturing, mothering energy. This energy is life-giving and can also be tenacious, okay? This energy is deeply connected to emotions, and we know that because of the water sign that Cancer is, the water element that it represents. And it can be very sensitive, highly sensitive. I would say Cancer is a highly sensitive sign. And, I don't think that this is a negative or a positive. It can be one, it can be both, one or the other. Just being highly sensitive, it just means they pick up on the energies that are around them. And sometimes this can come out in emotions, all right? But it can also be a really useful trait or personality quality to have, being very sensitive, right? Cancer energy is calm, it's receptive, it's sympathetic, and this is because it understands emotions essentially. It's a very emotional, feeling based sign. Shadow qualities of Cancer is that they might feel like, or they might find it difficult to let go. If you think of the crab, when it pinces down with the with the claws, it won't let go of its grip. All right, this can also be represented in the qualities of Cancer individuals if you have this area being activated in your chart. Emotions can take precedence over practical thinking and rational thinking. So, Cancer energy can get too lost in their emotions, so that they're too deep in the emotional feeling body that they can't actually rationalize or see what's going on practically and have a logical approach, so to speak. And they can also be, or this energy, I should say, can also be emotionally manipulative, lash out in defense. If you think of that claw again, lashing out in defense, especially if they're feeling anxious or stressed, which can be quite common, especially if they're taking on lots and lots of emotions. Now, think of the crab as well. It can have, as I said it before, it has that hard outer shell. So sometimes it can be hard to kind of get past that shell, that wall. But on the other side of that is that softness, all right? So that's where the defensiveness comes in. If we were looking at Cancer in the body, in the zodiac man, we would look to Cancer rules the chest, the breasts, the upper gastrointestinal system, the diaphragm, the stomach. It also represents the womb and the uterus because it's connected to that nurturing motherhood energy. And so these are the areas of the body and that it rules. Also, the mucous membrane is ruled by Cancer. Thinking of moving, Cancer energy really likes to move more intuitively. And one thing that I didn't mention about Cancer is it just loves that home environment. It's because it brings that mother quality energy, it really loves that home nurturing environment, that private area. It's like their sanctuary, essentially. So in terms of moving, Cancer types would really love things that they can do at home workouts. Because it rules the stomach, belly dancing is great for Cancers. Snorkeling, that kind of ties into the water element. And, I talked about the rock pool as well. So definitely Cancers would love that type of movement. And even self-defense, if we think about like what I've talked about already with the crab being sort of defensive, and even thinking of the crab with its shield, with its shell, all right? And another interesting thing that Cancer would be loving to do is moving in alignment with the moon, following the phases of the moon, following the signs that the moon is going through, and moving in accordance with this. Moving, if it's a full moon, they might be fully expressed in their movement or doing really high energy activities. Where if it's coming down into a waning moon, they might be more gentle and softer movement activities. When it comes to nutrition, Cancer energy really likes comfort, all right? So eating in a calm environment, eating comfort food, which doesn't necessarily have to be quote unquote bad food. There's probably no such thing as bad food. It's really only bad habits, but food that's going to be comforting for their bodies. Cancer energy may digest their emotions, so it's really important to eat from a place of presence and great vibrations or uplifting energy so that they're not digesting, say, negative emotions, because ultimately emotions get stored in the body. So it'd be really important for Cancer energy types to be, making sure that they're eating in a space that's present, in a space where they're connected, they're grateful, thankful for their food, and really feeling good about what they are eating. Soft, warm foods are probably going to be really nurturing for Cancer types. We can take a look at some of the keywords that I have for Cancer just to get an understanding even more. So let's have a look. Some keywords that I have written down are nurturing. I've already been mentioning this so much throughout the episode. Kind, sensitive, instinctual, having tenacity, being assertive, being loyal, being vulnerable, which again is neither positive nor negative, emotional, reserved, defensive, clingy, suspicious, softness, empathetic, intuitive. This is a very strong quality of Cancer energy. Withdrawn, lacking comforts as the key word. Sometimes manipulative, caring, and calm. All right. So that is a little snapshot of the Cancer energies and how they are playing out and how this sign unfolds and plays out in the symbology. You can look at all the things that I've talked about to really start to put together your own language of what each of the signs mean and the way that you might think and you might interpret it. But I hope this has been useful as we head into Cancer season. It's a time of softening, so to speak. As we move through the signs of the zodiac, we are constantly shifting and changing and working on something different. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you have enjoyed it. And yeah, please, if you have enjoyed it and found it insightful, let me know. There's a place where you can make a little comment on Spotify. I would love if you're enjoying this podcast, if you could leave a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And remember, if you're interested in getting a reading or signing up for my course, you can find the link in my show notes and also go to abbylutus.com, my website. And until next time, keep shining bright. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey of self-discovery. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share it with someone who you think would love it. Keep exploring the secrets of the stars, and remember, the universe has woven a unique story just for you. Until next time, keep shining bright.